Meet Tim and Sarah. They just bought identical houses right next door to each other for the exact same price. They also have the exact same mortgage. Every month, both of them send the exact same payment to the bank. When that payment hits the bank, it splits. One part pays the interest, the fee for borrowing the money. The other part pays down the loan itself, which slowly increases how much of the house they actually own. But the money used to pay down the loan becomes what experts call dead equity. Think of it like money that's been frozen solid. This trapped money is safe, but it isn't doing anything. It doesn't earn a paycheck, and Tim and Sarah can't touch it or spend it unless they decide to sell the entire house. For most homeowners, this is the only path. Their wealth is forced to sit idle, sleeping inside their walls for 30 years. Sarah, however, is doing something different. She's using a strategy called the Smith Manoeuvre. This strategy relies on a specific type of loan called a readvanceable mortgage. This account keeps her home loan and her available credit linked together in real time. As this chart shows, every time Sarah pays off $1 of her home loan, the bank automatically opens up $1 of available credit for her to use. This happens on its own every month. She doesn't have to fill out new paperwork or ask the bank for permission to access that dollar. By using this specific account, Sarah turns that trapped, frozen equity into money she can actually use right now. Here is how she puts that money to work. First, Sarah makes her regular mortgage payment, just like Tim. The moment her payment reduces the loan, her credit limit goes up. She immediately borrows that exact same amount back out. Sarah doesn't spend this borrowed money on a new TV or a car. Instead, she puts it into investments that can grow. It's important to see what's happening here. Sarah is building a portfolio without taking a single extra cent out of her monthly paycheck. She is making her money do two jobs at once. The same dollar that pays for her house is also used to build her retirement. Now, here is where the Canadian tax system helps her out. When you borrow money to buy investments that can earn income, the interest you pay on that loan can often be used to lower your tax bill. Tim pays interest on his house, but since he's just living there, he gets no tax break at all. That interest is just a cost of living. Sarah is different. Because she specifically used her borrowed money to buy investments, the interest she pays on that portion of her debt helps her save money when tax season arrives. As you can see on these tax forms, Sarah gets a significant refund from the government that Tim doesn't get. By following this rule, the government is essentially helping to pay for the cost of building her investment portfolio. Sarah then takes that tax refund check and puts the whole thing right back onto her mortgage as an extra payment. This creates a massive chain reaction. That extra payment drops her mortgage balance, which instantly lets her borrow even more money to invest. More investments mean she might get an even bigger tax refund next year, which she'll use to pay down the house even faster. This is a true self-accelerating cycle. Sarah has created a powerful wealth-building machine that gains speed year after year. Let's look at Tim and Sarah 10 years later. Tim has been responsible and paid his mortgage every month. He's doing well, but all his wealth is still locked away in the bricks of his house. Sarah, on the other hand, has used her refunds to pay her house off much faster than Tim. Plus, as this chart shows, she also has a large, separate investment portfolio that she built along the way. She has turned her debt into something that actually works for her, saving her money on taxes while building her future. Of course, this requires care. Investments can go down as well as up, and the tax office requires a very clear, organized paper trail to prove exactly where the borrowed money went. But the lesson is simple. You don't have to choose between paying off your home and saving for the future. With the right strategy, you can do both at the same time.